This screencast goes over some key materials for working with primary sources. So we have kind of gone over what is going on with primary sources in our first lesson in the last unit. This time, instead of having like the big PowerPoints and everything like that, we have a couple little tip sheets to go over. And the screencast exists for that, okay? So as you work with any primary source document, ask yourself the following questions, and it will be super easy. Remember, a primary source document is a document written by someone who witnessed or took part. So here's the questions that you guys should ask when you're looking at this. 1, look at the nature of the material. What kind of document are you looking at? Are you looking at a newspaper, a magazine, a journal? It really does depend. Is the document a first-hand account or based on information provided by others? After that, you need to evaluate the author. So, was the author's connection to the event, is their connection to the event what they're talking about? What do you think? And also evaluate what they think about the event as well. For step 3, you are determining the audience. And that means, is this source meant for the public? So, what's interesting to consider here, guys, is whether or not the source was meant for people to see it or if it was a personal record. So make sure you're considering that too. For step 4, we need to determine the purpose. So you're looking for evidence of emotion, exaggeration, bias. For the purpose, you're determining why this is written. And that can be really hard sometimes. But when we're considering a purpose, think always, always, always about the why. And I can help you with that if you need it, okay? For number 5, you're going to look up words that you do not know. I have gone ahead and provided definitions for the majority of them, but if there are extra words you don't know, you need to be using an online dictionary to get that together, okay? It's so important. Please do it. And for the 6th step, you need to take it slow. This cannot be something you do extremely quickly because you're not going to do well on it if you do that. Promise. You need to do that, okay? Once you've completed these questions, you're a primary source star. So when in doubt, always think like a news reporter, which means always ask questions, okay? Let's look at the second one here. Let's look at the additional tip sheet here. So, fact sheet, primary sources. What is a primary source? A primary source is an original record of the political, economic, artistic, scientific, social, and intellectual thoughts and achievements of a specific historical period, produced by the people who participated in and witnessed the past. Primary sources offer a variety of points of view and perspective of events, issues, people, and places. These records can be found anywhere. In a home, a government archive, etc. The important thing to remember is that they were used or created by somebody with a first-hand experience of the event. Again, it is a first-hand account, guys. So important, okay? You can't forget that. Examples of primary sources. Primary sources are not just documents and written records. They are many different kinds of primary sources, including first-person accounts, documents, physical artifacts, scientific data that has been collected but not interpreted, and face-to-face mentors with specific knowledge or expertise. Primary sources also take a variety of formats. Here's some examples. Audio. This can be an oral history or a memoir, an interview, or music. Images, photographs, videos, film, art, all primary sources. Objects, clothing, like fashion or a uniform. Tools, pottery, gravestones, inventions, weapons. Memorabilia, statistics. Census data, population statistics. A weather record. Text, letters, diaries, original documents, legal agreements, treaties, maps, laws, advertisements, recipes, genealogical information, and sermons and lectures. So how do primary and secondary sources differ? Well, primary sources are the original record created by a first-hand witness. Secondary sources are documents, texts, images, and objects about an event created by someone who typically looked at the primary source. Textbooks are an awesome example of a secondary source. So why is it important for us to take a look at these? It's important because we are directly engaging, which means we are working one-on-one with the past. How cool is that, right? Our second one, analysis of primary sources helps us to develop critical thinking skills because we're examining meaning, context, and bias, purpose, point of view, lots of things to help get our brains going. We are fostering learner-led inquiry, which means you are asking questions to yourself as you go ahead and look at these. And lastly, you're realizing that history exists through interpretation, and that can change things. I've tried to stress very often that there are two sides to every story, and I think that's something really important to consider with a primary source. So if we go back to today's lesson, you have a couple more things to do. You've watched the video for step 1, now you need to complete the activity for step 2, and I've included the audio in each question this time, okay? I tried something new. So when you're going through that, please make sure you're using the question to help you, okay? And I'm always here if you need something as well. I'm always here to help, okay guys? Good luck!